So we are the largest telco in Canada. And in terms of the top 500, we are number 78 worldwide and the number 1 in Canada. We were the first NCP in North America, the telco NCP in North America, to went through this process. The networking components, when it comes to the multi-tenancy, is completely different from running the data centers for our own selves. No one has the patience to build it in-house. Without that, basically simplifying the network complexity behind it, we will never be able to go to that token factory.
I'm Alex, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Netris. Welcome to Netris Fireside Chat, where we talk about networking, GPUs, and business. It's my pleasure to welcome here Saeed.
Thank you, Alex. Saeed Shamsi here. I'm a director of engineering at TELUS Communications. We are the incumbent telco in Canada, largest telco from the market cap, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you so much for your time, and wanted to talk a little bit about the GPU cluster you deployed recently. Tell a little bit about this.
Sure. So we took this journey as a very exciting journey. As being extremely difficult but extremely rewarding. So we are in Canada. So we are the largest telco in Canada. I always saying that in Canada we are talent rich but infrastructure poor. So the original idea was that we have data centers. As a telco, we do have central offices across the country. We have thousands of central offices across the country. And we do have data centers, modern data centers running on each part of the countries. We were looking for the GPUs even 18 months ago. We couldn't find GPUs in Canada. We had to go down in the States or some other places to get the GPUs. And then we realized that we do have power, we do have networking, we do have data centers. Why we cannot host our own GPU? So that was the initial idea. So we had this idea that let's go, although that we are a large enterprise, but our idea was let's build it as if we are a startup. We took that idea that we want to be as agile, as nimble as possible. We want to test the market first. We partnered with NVIDIA. We decided that we need to have a partner on our side to make sure that the performance and the quality is there. So we were the first NCP in North America, the telco NCP in North America, to went through this process. NVIDIA supported us for our infrastructure sites and also the reference architectures. So we were implementing our cluster based on the reference architectures, and we were also looking to see what type of partners can help us for our networking sites. As we know, the network is very, very complex. So I always mention about the 4S: sovereignty, security, scalability, and sustainability. In terms of our data centers are running and powering by hydro, which is a renewable. And then the location that we selected, they are in both East region and the West region. Our location is in a very cool climate. So we have a benefit of that climate. So 95% of the time we are running on the free cooling. So in terms of the Green 500, we are very top. And in terms of the top 500, we are number 78 worldwide and the number 1 in Canada.
Tell a little bit about how you were thinking through your software, your network orchestration, and your software stack in general. Because especially you're coming from telco and with some experience in infrastructure, but from one side, you have a lot of experience. From another side, it's kind of a different kind of infrastructure. So how did you think about this?
We are a telco, so we know, and we have transport. So back to that sovereign components, one of our advantages is that we can secure and we can assure sovereignty both at rest as well as in transit, because we own the transport and then connectivity. And we were running the data centers. When we started building our AI factory and AI cluster, we realized that the networking components, when it comes to the multi-tenancy, is completely different from running the data centers for our own selves. So if we were running a cluster just for internal workload, that would be completely different as if we are running a multi-tenant environments that we can securely bring the customers, have both logical and physical segregation depending on their requirements. So when we went through that path, we realized that it is very complex, and for us to be able to build it is going to take a much longer. And you know that the AI era, no one has that patience. No one has the patience to build it in-house, to wait for building it, the whole solution. So we were looking for a partner that can help us to automate the networking sites. We could bring the traffic to the AI factory, to the edge of AI factory, but then from that edge of AI factory to bring it to the GPUs and having a true multi-tenant environment for the GPUs, as well as for the storage, as well as for the CPU. That was very challenging.
I understand you have a number of interesting use cases. So is it important for your business, especially coming from telco space?
We have customers that are coming on the enterprise that they want just a post-training and then inferencing. We are servicing some of our tenants that they have the solutions mainly for inferencing only. At the same time, we also have tenants that is coming for the training, and then these are the AI native that they need a bare metal to be able to do the training in the larger scales. So we had to basically cover many different use cases. And in top of that, then we have our internal. So TELUS is a large organization. So we transformed ourselves in the last 10 to 12 years to become a technology company from a telco company. We still have our telco business, but then we branched it out to the health, digital health. We branched it out to the home security, a smart home, to many different verticals. So we want also to serve our internal workload. And some of our internal workload are very critical in terms of their security and making sure that there is no notion of the noisy neighbor. And that's number one. Number two was, if you had, for example, Alex, if you had 5 customers that all are coming to get a large scale of the GPUs, and if I were doing it manual work, so that a little bit easier. So I have 5 customers, I have to create their clusters, their network, I can do it manually. But if I'm servicing the startups, if I'm servicing the developer mindsets, then there's a different situation. I cannot do it manually. I do not have enough manpower, and it's not even physically possible to bring those clusters up and down. So we were looking for network automations that can help us not only create those VPCs and then mapping between the public IP to the private IP, to the VXLANs, to the GPUs, but also be able to integrate with our platform. We develop our own platform called TELUS AI Studio. So our platform is helping us to do the GPU orchestrations. So we were looking for that type of the platform that can help us not only automate the networking side, but also be able to integrate with our AI Studio. So then our teams can very quickly be able to provision the networking, be able to assign the cluster to the customers, and as well as providing the self-serve. That is what everyone is moving. So we are at GTC 2026, and everyone's talking about token factory. So we established our AI factory. We announced it just a year ago, and our AI factory, the first one is up and running. We are building the second one. At the same time, now we are marching towards token factory. And without that, basically simplifying the network complexity behind it, we will never be able to go to that token factory.
You mentioned something really interesting, simplifying complexity or abstracting complexity away. I like to think in terms of layers. There's hardware layer, there's a network automation, abstraction, and multi-tenancy layer, and then on top of that, you build your additional layers, which is your compute layer, your AI factory layer. Is that how you did that? Do you consume that API?
Yeah, I always actually repeat what Jensen is saying about the 5-layer cake. So we want to basically have a full control about the whole 5-layer from the power. So we have a full control about our layers, our stacks. When it comes to the networking sides, we never be able to match the manpower and engineering power that a hyperscaler has. But then our customers that are coming from that experience to us, they are expecting that we provide a similar experience for them. So we need to have that experience for our end users. So the end user journey is very important for us. So be able to provide that abstraction layer that you just mentioned. So the customer is coming, we need to abstract the network complexity and then the infrastructure complexity, so then we can give them the secure VPC for them so they can do whatever they need to do. So they can spend their time on solving the problem that they are going to solve. Therefore, it's very complex when you are looking at east-west in InfiniBands. So we have NVLink, and then we have InfiniBand, and then you have the north-south on the Spectrum X, and then another north-south getting to the storage. So these are the complex dynamics of networking that we need to be able to simplify it, automated to be able to provide that kind of the journey that we want our end users to experience.
Exactly. Thank you so much for sharing all this. It's amazing story, and we think there's a lot more should come.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to, we are going to upgrade to your latest and greatest version, and we are looking forward to the next chapters for our collaboration.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time and for joining our Fireside chat.
Thank you for having me.